Okay, we are having Celeste and I, Tavera, soprano, and I are having a pretty fun conversation already. You don't get to hear any of that, you people out there in
That's
Southern
right.
California, but Celeste Tavera is going to be the soprano soloist for a few wonderful Nelson Riddle tunes
Yes.
when the West Coast Symphony Orchestra presents its 46th, we hope. We lost track somewhere. It's either 46, 47, 48, 45. We think pretty much it's 46th annual Fiesta Concert on Sunday, August 9th at 3:30 in the afternoon. Take note, everybody in Southern California, so you can get up here, have a little lunch, hang out, check out the sailboats in the harbor, and then come on up to Santa Barbara, up into the heart of downtown Santa Barbara, the Santa Barbara County Courthouse, a National Historic Landmark. For this performance, it's always a hoot and a half. It's a wonderful, popular event. It climaxes Fiesta every year in Santa Barbara, and if you folks in Southern California, all of you LA types, have never been up to Santa Barbara for Fiesta, well, you have not lived. You don't understand how the world works in Southern California. Anyway, Celeste Tavera is going to be the soloist with the West Coast Symphony on that wonderful concert at the Sunken Gardens of the Santa Barbara Courthouse. And in downtown Santa Barbara. And she's known Christopher Story the Sixth, I'm sure, for several years. I've known Christopher Story the Sixth since I think I was in junior high school. He is the founding conductor of the West Coast Symphony and the Seattle Foundation. Every single year, he has managed to create this wonderful end of Fiesta concert. We're going to hear music by, let me pull this up, Christopher Story. By the way, he's going to be joined by his associate conductor, as in the heir apparent. Forgive me, Michael. But Dr. Michael Schassberger of Westmont College, and Celeste knows Dr. Schassberger very well. We have, in other words, this orchestra is going to be in good hands, and Christopher has brought this orchestra through everything for all these years. It's a wonderful celebratory event, Sunday, August 9th, 3:30 in the afternoon. Here's the program, kind of, sort of. I mean, it changes a little bit. But Chabrier, España. We're going to have a Rossini, William Tell Overture, all the fun
Yes.
stuff. Tchaikovsky, Capriccio, Italiano. And then, and some songs, I guess, played by the orchestra from the Roaring Twenties. I think that was one of, by the way, Christopher Story the Sixth, the founder of this orchestra, will be 90 in September. Okay? So it's worth coming up just to watch this event of Christopher Story conducting,
Yes.
and Michael Schassberger has his share of the program. But we're looking at now. You're going to. There's a special part of the program, Nelson Riddle tunes. First of all, sorry, sorry, Celesta. Tell me a little bit. Just give us all an overview. You're a soprano. Give me a little bit about your training, where you are, where you were, where you are, what's going on.
Well, I grew up in Orange County and
Oh,
I lived in Italy and I sang there with Jose Carreras. It was a lot of fun and I traveled around, did lots of auditions and concerts. And um, I sang with New York City Opera in the Marriage of Figaro and San Diego Opera and San Francisco Opera. We did Carmen. And I came up here to Santa Barbara to do another Carmen as Frasquita. And I stayed. It was such a beautiful place. I'd never been to Santa Barbara before. And I just happened to go to Westmont to look at the library and look at the bookstore. And I thought to myself, I'd really like to teach here. So I now teach at Westmont College. I've been there for 15 years. And I know Chris Story very well and Dr. Michael Schausberger, very wonderful musicians. And the pieces that I'm doing are Out of My Dreams. People will say we're in love, and April in Paris. But this is going to be a different kind of a sound because I'm not singing words. So it's not like I'm getting up in front of the orchestra and singing. I will be sitting with the orchestra as an
ooh,
instrument and just singing ahs. If you remember the opening song for Star Trek, it's kind of like that.
yeah. Ah,
All these different things. And so that's what I'm going to be doing with these songs. So I won't be singing any words, but I will be using my voice as a instrument, just singing on in awe, and it'll be a lot of fun.
to
And
add that lovely color. There's sort of a coloration involved with the
yeah,
voice on top of the instrument. Now wasn't aware of that, and
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. it's interesting.
By the
And
way,
he
you came up and did some Carmen with the West Coast Symphony, one of these past fiestas. Yeah.
Yes, a few years ago I
Uh-huh.
did the Habanera, and Emil Cristescu sang with me as well
Yes.
as Camille. And it's a lot of fun. It's a big orchestra, and at the courthouse, you can sit and you can have your lunch and have a little wine. You get to see the dancers before the orchestra
Yes.
starts, and the music is really beautiful. The orchestra is really wonderful to perform with, and they sound amazing.
Yeah.
And Christopher Story will be conducting my music, and the rest of the music will be done by Dr. Schasberger.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, here's what because we mentioned earlier, I've known Chris Story for a million years. I think he somehow things always work out right with Chris.
Yeah,
Somehow,
sometimes.
always, concerts happen. By the way, he started it through his foundation, Cielo Foundation for the Performing Arts. He started the Mozart by candlelight, the Bach by candlelight.
Yes,
So
and
he
I
had,
have sung also
you
for the Mozart by candlelight.
what did
I
you do?
did the Mozart the Voi lo sapete. It's an orchestral concert aria with the orchestra, and Dr. Schasberger conducted that. It was wonderful. So this will be the third time I'm singing with them. It'll be really
Wonderful.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and just the idea that there is this stable organization, there is this tradition that Chris Story has created. Chris is now, easing out, and Dr. Schasberger, who again is, I don't want to get it wrong, but Minister of Music and something else I've forgotten there at Westmont. Can you help me
I
out on that?
think he's the chair of the department
Chair.
now,
Yes. Yeah.
and he conducts the orchestra and the choir. And
Yes.
also, we have a competition every year for the students to compete, and we have wonderful pianists that have performed, and singers, and cellists, and violinists. We have a variety of a lot of wonderful musicians that come to Westmont to study music and get their degree at Westmont. And the choir is amazing, and the orchestra has grown and grown and grown. And Dr. Schasberger
Mm.
has done an amazing job with that. And the music department is such a wonderful upbeat program that we have. It's great. And also we have a new facility, and we have wonderful practice rooms now that we didn't have
Yes.
before.
Yep.
So that's
Well,
great.
and this speaks to Dr. Schasberger's arrival in Santa Barbara. I've forgotten
Yeah.
how many years ago that was, but
Yeah.
he really has transformed and
Yes, he
developed
has.
tremendously the music program at Westmont College. It's a
Great.
Christian liberal arts college in Santa
Mhm.
Barbara, but more importantly, as Westmont has always done, reaching out into the community
Yes,
all the time, reaching out into the
and
community.
also every Christmas we have the big
Well,
Christmas concert, and every concert there's I think there are four concerts, and they're all packed. And I go every year. It starts my Christmas holiday. It's
hmm
a beautiful concert and well put together, and the singers are amazing.
In the tradition of the Midwest, the great
That's
Christmas
right.
events of the Midwest, in that tradition, yes, wonderful.
Yes,
So all of those traditions. So I guess the bottom line is we can agree
yes,
that this transition as Christopher Story retires. I mean, maybe not yet. He's only
maybe.
90, but and as Dr. Schasberger takes over more responsibilities, we have a guy who has a history of making things work. Yeah,
Yes,
big time.
making things
So
happen.
that's exciting. Now,
Yeah,
just to go through this again. Now, uh, this the program has an intention because it's old Spanish days of a
right.
sort of certain Hispanic mode to it. But I have a feeling these Nelson Riddle tunes are Christopher Story's inclination. Yeah.
He has them on a regular, is it vinyl record?
Yeah.
These are it's you can't find these songs on YouTube. So, but it's actually really interesting because they're, I guess, out of the 20s, and the music is really beautiful. And they
Yeah.
had an opera singer sing them, so and they tend to sit pretty high. So it'll be very interesting. I've never done anything like this before. Usually, you have the text to express and all that,
Yes.
but in this case it's not going to be like that. It's just going to be like I'm one of the players in the orchestra. So it'll
How
be really
how
fun.
interesting. And also, I keep thinking songs from the 20s. Oh yeah, Christopher would remember such things, wouldn't he?
Yes, yeah, and
So
he
he
has
would be a certain authority on these.
right. He has the 45s. He has the big regular. Is
He
it 70?
plays.
Yeah, then he
He
plays
plays.
those.
Yep, he's a
Hmm.
musician, all right.
Yeah.
I had the great something or other pleasure, I think, of videotaping his wedding. He recently was
Oh,
married, everybody, in Southern California at age going on age 90.
oh
Uh,
my gosh.
and the idea of watching this man sit down at the piano and improvise, and then get up and play a little bit of drums, and he's a legend in Santa Barbara for sure.
He
Christopher
really, and
Story the
he loves
sixth.
his music.
Yeah, he
He
does.
just
Yeah.
he can't wait. He loves these songs. He thinks they're so beautiful, and they are because they're really different. They're not what you're typically going to hear. So it'll be a really nice new experience from a time that of long ago. So
These
I
days, it is
think
long ago.
everybody
Yeah.
will enjoy it.
Listen,
Yeah,
Celeste, it's been wonderful. Celeste, sorry, it's been wonderful talking with you. Celeste
you too.
Tavera, soprano, adjunct professor at Westmont College. She will be, I guess, awing at the West Coast Symphony's Fiesta
That's right.
concert coming up on Sunday. It's the 46th Fiesta concert in Santa
Yes.
Barbara. It's free to the public. You bring your picnic, you bring your things. It's in the Santa Barbara Courthouse, County Courthouse, Sunken Gardens. Anybody who hasn't isn't aware of that picture of the Santa Barbara County Courthouse, Sunken Gardens, must, really be out of touch. The
I know
most
it's beautiful
It is
there.
gorgeous and it's historic and all of that.
Yes.
They're going to do, or the West Coast Symphony is going to, with Dr. Michael Schussberger is going to be conducting as well. Chabrier, España, Rossini, William Tell Overture. How can you have more fun than that? Tchaikovsky, Capriccio Italiano, and then we have some Nelson Riddle medleys and these Roaring Twenties songs.
Yes.
Celesta, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
giving me a few
Thank you
minutes of your
so
time. We'll put this up and see if we can't lure some Southern Californians, some of those LA types, up for an afternoon in Santa Barbara.
I think they would really enjoy it. It'd be a
Thank
treat.
you. A great pleasure talking with you.
You
Hang on.
too.